I'm Marie Curie, the famous inventor of the glowing light metal called radium, and the first female winner of the Nobel Prize for my work in science. But let me tell you about who I really am. I, Maria Skłodowska, was born November 7th, 1867, in Warsaw, the capital of Poland, the youngest of 5 children. My mother was the principal of a school, and my father taught science. My mother was very sick and died from TB when I was 11. This was very tough for me, and I missed her terribly. At school, I especially loved math and science. I could speak 5 languages, which my father taught me, and I graduated at the age of 15. In 1891, I moved to Paris to study at the Sorbonne School. And although I had very little money, this was one of the best memories of my life. After 3 years, I graduated first in my class. I received a scholarship to study math. I decided to stay. I loved learning. I met Curie, an already famous scientist, and we clicked immediately. We got married in 1895, and 2 years later, our first daughter, Irene, was born. For my PhD, I started studying the chiral rays that come from a metal called uranium. No one knew that uranium was radioactive or could be used to make an atom bomb. I discovered a new mineral, and I called it polonium, after my beloved poet. Other scientists started doing similar experiments, but I was determined to prove that a woman was just as good as a man. And so I discovered another chemical element, and I called it radium. Radium was even more radioactive than polonium. At the time, I didn't realize that handling radium was very bad for your health. In 1902, after nearly 4 years of very hard work, Pierre and I could at last prove that radium existed, as we had a few grains of pure radium. We were about to win the Nobel Prize. People loved how radium glowed in the dark. Theater companies put it in their costumes. One company even put it in their lipstick, without realizing it was hurting them. Just like Pierre and I didn't realize we were getting sick from its constant exposure. In 1904, my second daughter Eve was born, and life was good. But in 1906, my whole life was turned upside down. As Pierre was crossing the street, a horse-drawn carriage hit him, and he died. I was so sad I didn't want to eat, sleep, or work. But after a few months, the Sorbonne School offered me Pierre's place, and I accepted, the first ever woman professor. In 1911, I attended a very important science meeting in Brussels, where I met Albert Einstein. And later that year, I heard I won another Nobel Prize. It was amazing to accept it from the King of Sweden, with both my daughters present. My daughter Irene also loves science, and in 1914 helped me drive the X-ray machines I invented to the hospitals during World War I. In my last years, I started studying how radium can help treat cancer, but the radium had poisoned my own body, and I died on July 4th, 1934, at the age of 66. I love science, and I used to say, be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. Thank you. That was my presentation. Now I'll tell you a little bit about what I did right here. So, I did a radioactive sign to show that there's danger right here, so like you shouldn't cross my sign right here. And then here I have a picture in the middle of Marie Curie, and then I have a saying that Marie said, "Nothing in life is to be feared; it is only to be understood." Marie Curie. And here are the symbols for radium, uranium, and polonium. Here's something that Albert Einstein wrote about Marie Curie since she met him in Brussels. Marie Curie is of all celebrated beings the only one whom fate had not corrupted, by Albert Einstein. And right here I did a picture of the Nobel Prize, which she won twice. And here I have a picture of Marie and Pierre in their lab working. here's like a small cancer sign, raising funds in aid of Marie Curie, cancer care. And then I have my radium. Not actually radium, but radium. And then I have like a tube of radium, glows. And that's my presentation, so thanks.